It's a very important day. And most of us didn't grow up in our households where your parents would say, we're going to celebrate winter solstice. How many of your parents made it a big holiday? How many of you even knew about winter solstice when you were children? You. Most of us didn't. I didn't. It was always leaning towards Christmas, or if you're Jewish, Hanukkah, and then New Year's. It wasn't really until Yogi Bhajan came in 1969 and I met him in 1970 that I even knew there were solstices. And now he has these celebrations in Florida now and in New Mexico, which I'm sure many of you have gone to in the summer. And they're the highlight. And what's so beautiful about solstices, Creator never lets us down on solstices. Today is the shortest day of the year. It doesn't vary with church, religion, edicts, governments. It is what it is. Like the full moon promises a full moon. It's not a, I wonder if the moon's going to be full. We can call upon a full moon. God willing, we keep the balance on the earth so we can see that full moon. It's the same way with the shortest day of the year. I wanted to say I was talking to my friend Alana, and she has the Guru Ram Das Yoga Center in Cape Town, South Africa. And she's a very good friend, and we go down there, and we're going to go in the fall and do another teacher's training there. Wonderful, wonderful people there. And she had just finished a gonging on the new moon, which was, they're like how much ahead of us. But anyways, they just finished because they helped to raise money for Rosie's Kitchen. I'll tell a little about Rosie's Kitchen. She's a woman of color who was noticing that the children going by to school had no lunch buckets or bags or sacks or anything with lunch. So she said, hey, I wish I could imitate the beautiful way South Africans speak. I wouldn't do justice, but it was like, she realized that these children, not only did they not have lunch, they also didn't have breakfast. And they had no promise of food when they went home at night. I mean, they were really poor. But because it's public school, they got to go to school. So she began this cooking, maybe for 10, 20 kids as they came by. Come, I'll give you breakfast. And she made sacks. Well, she's got about 150 to 200 kids now, and some of the parents come too, that she cooks out of her kitchen. And so we got wind of it, and we went out and visited her. And since then, it's been about 3 years now, we have been funding all the food with big sacks of grain and big sacks of beans and everything. So once a month at the Guru Ram Das Yoga Center, they have a gonging. And people give generously, and it feeds all these kids. But anyways, I was talking to Alana about that, and I said, so, are you doing winter solstice? Yeah, tomorrow night. And I said, wow, isn't it amazing? It's like the shortest day. She says, no, I'm in Cape Town. It's the longest day. And my mind just went like into orbit. Here I was talking to my dearest friend who was at her longest day, and we were at our shortest day. So it was like we were talking almost in polarity language. Because when it's the longest day, it's very, very expansive, and there's very much sun energy, light energy. And on the shortest day, it's the shortest, smallest amount of light that is with us today. So for some people, it can cause mental disturbances, really. They can be anxious and they don't know why. They can be disturbed and they don't know why today and at this time. People often get sick at this time, and they'll say it's the weather change, or I'm just feeling a little gloomy. And especially the Californians, because we live on sun. And just to let you know that tonight we'll work on bringing the light from within. Because if you're in a place like Sweden or Russia or Mongolia now, there is Zippo. It's dark all the time. So what does one do when it's so dark? Well, first of all, you take about 10,000 units of vitamin D. And secondly, you usually gather with friends with big candles and lots of tea. And I would hope not too much alcohol, but I'm sure that's present too. But it's a lot of gathering. People come together when it's cold and dark outside. So it has a plus. We live in sunny Southern California, most of us, where we kind of live in the sunshine, and we don't have the experience often of going within, or often a terrible need to be with other people. We do, but it's not to the point that people from very dark places reach out to other people. So I love this time of year, because with this winter solstice, we lead ourselves into more and more holidays until we get to the new year of 2015. So tonight we have our beautiful musicians, and we're going to have her beautiful husband join us there. Akana. Tell them what Akana means.
Akana is in Aramaic, the original language that Jesus spoke, and it says it's just as Ikana, just as it is in heaven, so it will be on earth. So it's like the pipeline, the conduits between heaven and earth.
And that's them. I play their music all over the world, and it always is that people come up afterwards and they say, who were those people? What were they? Who are they? Where are they from? I say, oh, they're from Los Angeles. They live in Topanga Canyon. And you have 4 albums out now? Yeah.
5, one digital on the
And it's all out there for you to take home with you. They were up all night. Tell them what you did. This is like so amazing. I love it.
Hey everybody. Sadnam. We were at an indigenous ceremony called the Bear Dance at an intertribal preserve about 3 hours from here, called Mahutasan. And so, if anyone knows indigenous philosophy, I guess you can call it, right? We look at the animals as a connection to the Creator. And so the bear spirit has that creative energy because Mama comes up out of the den she went in by herself, and now she's coming out with this family. So there's this manifestation, this creative aspect to it. And then there's this healing, this regenerative aspect to it. So the dance is done for the healing of the families.
Wow.
The ceremony happened to be run. The reason why we went is because my mentor and brother broke 8 ribs. He fell off the ladder trying to fix everything up for the ceremony. And he had 8 children. And so his 4 sons ran the ceremony since he couldn't be there. That meant running the sweat lodge, which is a place where prayers are laid down. It's like an igloo structure, if you guys don't know what that is. And then the bear dance goes on, and they actually wear bear skins and they dance, but it's for the healing of the earth. You know, Gudamuk has you do these movements, and you got this rhythm, and you're dancing, keeping your hands up. The rhythm of our feet helps to harmonize the earth, the drum. And so that's what the ceremony is for, to restore these ceremonies that reconnect us as a human family. And his sons, I've been knowing them since they were in diapers, and now they're running the ceremony. So then we got a flat tire on the way back. But I mean, we had just enough air to get to, what was the name of it?
Benny's Tire.
Benny's Tire. Just enough air. No waiting line, nothing. He took me to place to pick out the used tire for $50, until we go get the right one. So it's all blessed. Thank you.
Oh, wow. We're so blessed to have them as part of our community and get to enjoy and imbibe their music as we carry on. And we will do some of that we talked about. So I say we get going. We have lots of good treats to eat afterwards. And for us, it's a new experience now just having Golden Bridge, Santa Monica. And it reminds me really of the coziness that I always felt since 1985 when we opened up our first center on South La Cienega. And then places that we moved into eventually got so big that I would look and I would almost come out in tears and say, I don't know anybody. I just feel like I'm on a stage and it's something that I'm not familiar with. And then when we were blessed to start coming here amongst our travels and just seeing people's faces and meeting you after class, and it just reminds me of really the power of yoga centers, that if they get too big, they become impersonal. And I don't think when yoga ever becomes impersonal, I think it loses its purpose, which is family, which is love, which is coming together. That's really the reason that we're all doing yoga. So you become in tune with your heart, and you become in tune with the oneness of the divine. And you might start out just doing exercising, trying to get your body in shape, or healing your back. But eventually, no matter what kind of yoga you do, eventually you'll come home to your own soul. It's inevitable, because yoga simply means union. So I'm so happy that you're all here. It warms my heart, and that you guys came, and that you're so spaced out from I love it when people are sleep deprived and have been in some altered state, like of course with sweats and chanting and yeah, it's so divine. It reminds me when I was in the Zuni Native American reservation. We went in, which is south of Gallup in New Mexico, and we're doing a road trip tomorrow back to New Mexico, and all the women were meditating, preparing food, because the men had gone on their 3-day quest where, you know, they don't eat or take water, and they were waiting for them on top of this hill to see them come over the mesa. And it's so amazing in this country. We venture outside of this country for the indigenous, but they do exist right here. And it really reminds us of what's, for me, what's really real and what's really valuable. It's like, phew, it just takes you down to a zero level of, this is it. This is it. Isn't it true? So anytime you can conjure up anything indigenous without having to go to Peru or South America, they're right amongst us. And I'm sure you'll all share some more after class, yeah?
Sure, I'll be happy to.
Yeah. It makes us real. It makes us reevaluate our lives. And that's my prayer tonight, that we really get to take a look. We're going into a new year, a new beginning. Let's rub our hands.